Hi everyone, let's take a look at some questions with transformations of functions, and this time we're looking at multiple transformations. So y equals f of x is a parent function, and we are transforming it based on this equation where a indicates the vertical stretches, k horizontal stretches, d horizontal translation, and c the vertical translation. So first we have to determine the values of a, k, d, and c based on the descriptions given, and then write the new function. So a vertical stretch by a factor of a suggests that a factor of 3 suggests that a is equal to 3. A reflection in the y-axis suggests that the points have gone to the other side of the y-axis, which means that the x-coordinate has changed to opposite. That will make the value of k, which is coefficient in front of x, equal to -1. So therefore, the equation y equals f of x has changed to become y equals a and then f of -1x. Now you don't have to write the -1. You can just simply, you may as well just write the negative sign, and that's it. Now, a vertical stretch by a factor of 1/3. So if the vertical stretch is by a factor of 1/3, means that the graph has become shorter. So that tells us that coefficient A is at work here, and it is equal to 1/3. A horizontal expansion by a factor of 2. So that means that K is working here. And since we have an expansion, it means that the graph has become 2 times wider, which makes the coefficient k equal to 1/2. Now there is a translation of 6 units to the right that will make it a horizontal translation, which makes the value of d equal to +6, and a vertical translation of 1 unit down, which makes the coefficient c equal to -1. So the equation y equals f of x now has changed to become y equals, so we're going to start with coefficient a, which is 1/3. And then we have f, which we don't know. It can be any parent function. And next we have coefficient k, in our case 1/2. And then we have open brackets x, so we're going to write just that. And then minus d, which means that we are minusing a +6. So minus +6, we'll close the brackets, and then plus the vertical translation, which is -1. When you add a -1, it means that we are simply subtracting 1. And this will be the equation of the transform function. Next, we have a vertical expansion by a factor of 2. So vertical expansion, that's a stretch, right? So we're going to have a working here to make the vertical expansion, or by a factor of 2 means that a must be 2. Horizontal expansion, so expansion is the key word here. That means that we have the coefficient k working here by a factor of 2, means that k is 1/2. There is a reflection over the x-axis. Now remember that when reflection is on the x-axis, then the points have gone from one side of x-axis to the other, which means that the y-coordinates have changed to opposite. If the y-coordinates change to opposite, it means that a is a -2. And the equation of this transform function from y equals f of x, which is the parent, will become y equals f, well, -2 for a, and then f of 1/2 of x. Close brackets. Next, we have a reflection in the y-axis. Again, reflection on the y-axis will take the points to the other side of the y-axis, which will change the x-coordinate, which means that the coefficient k here is negative. A translation of 7 units to the right. So to the right means that the translation is in the horizontal direction, which makes d equal to +7. A translation of 4 units up, so 4 units up means it's in the vertical translation, which means that We have the value of c here. 4 units up is 4 in the positive, so c is positive 4. So the equation would be y equals f of x, which is the parent function, transformed to y equals, now we are not given any information about coefficient a, which means that nothing has changed, again, which means that coefficient a is 1 and we don't have to write 1. So we're going to write f, and then coefficient k is negative. We're not mentioned any stretches in the horizontal direction, which confirms that k is simply negative 1. And then we have x minus horizontal translation 7 to the right, and then plus 4, which is the vertical translation. And this will be the equation of the transform function. One more time, when the coefficient is negative 1, you can just simply write the negative sign. So in the next question, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going from equations to describing the transformation. So follow up for more. Bye for now.